The purveyors of this content would like me to apologize for the poor audio quality in this episode. They asked me to set up the audio this week, and, I may have forgotten to plug the mics into the video. I sincerely apologize and hope that this will not reflect poorly on my review. Please enjoy anyway.
Friends, it's time to shuffle up. We're Duncan, Jeff, and Sloan. Let's fill our cups. Commander Precon in hand, the battle's about to start. A podcast for the legend, where magic meets the heart. Commander Precon, where the stories unfold. With heroes and villains, new and old. Duncan, Jeff, and Sloan got the word. In the world of EV8 we play.
Hello everyone, welcome again to Commander's Pod. I'm your Podfather Duncan.
I'm Sloan.
And I'm Magic Jeff.
Magic Jeff.
No. I don't think that works.
Is
We'll
that
try
like
again
Magic
next
Mike?
week. Could it be? No one wants to see that.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
Well,
In
we'll
fact,
try
they
again
probably
next
pay not
week.
to.
Come up with another ridiculous one. Please feel free to send your own ridiculous ones in too.
Today we have new news, good news, and bad news.
Oh.
So that's what today's episode is about. We'll also have Aggro Jeff, and if we have time, we'll have some pro tips at the end. Let's get into it. Aggro Jeff, what's aggravating you?
Well, you guys will be excited because this is magic related. But we attempted to do the secret layer, the scare. What is it called? Scare?
The scare
Super scare, yeah.
Super scare. Well, I was super pissed. So I don't know if that was what they were going for. But I went in. I got my order in even before Duncan.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
You were in checkout somehow before me.
Which means I got it through for you. And yet I got through, ready to check out, got everything done. And then the CVC number for my card area was grayed out in the area to pay. So I couldn't pay. And I was like, okay, well, let me log into the PayPal account. I don't have a PayPal account. I don't use PayPal. So then I was like trying to figure it out. It didn't happen in time, so I didn't get any of the secret layer. But this is crazy. Like if you wait an hour and then you can't, they have a issue. And I wasn't the only one with the issue. Duncan had the same issue. He was just able to get into his PayPal account because he knew, because mine went through like 20, 25 minutes before yours, right, Duncan?
Yep.
So he had a heads up to have his prepared. But just, that sucks, dude. And all I wanted was like 4 things.
Yeah, the super.
And 2 of them weren't even for me.
A secret scare super drop is what
Yeah.
dropped
Yeah.
on Monday.
I
when
think
we're
it's
recording
called
this.
the Super Pissed Secret Layer Drop.
All right. Well, I mean, I think that's one of the few ones about magic, and one of the few ones I think is relatable.
And
So,
I'm genuinely annoyed.
and that, I mean, so that's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
That's 3 wins right there.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah. And by the way, I did check my credit card. Everything was ready. Everything was right. Had it there. Just put in a freaking CVC number, but you can't. And I tried it 4 different times. It was bonkers.
Yeah. We may talk about that in a little bit.
yeah.
So, just an update on the Commander League. This is the 2nd season of the Precon League, and I'm pretty dominant at this point. I'm playing the Ishtoya deck, and I won 2 out of 3. I would have won 3 out of 3, I'm pretty sure.
One counter spell stopped you.
One counterspell stopped me, and the worst part was, it stopped me from killing Andrew first, which you do.
Yeah, but the fact that a counterspell stopped you is pretty ironic.
And the person who did it allowed Andrew to win, because right after me was Andrew, and then her, and by
she
doing
can't-
that,
she
she
can't
did it
stop
because
everybody.
she would have been at 1 life, but
Right.
Andrew would have been dead. That's the important thing. I had no blockers, no mana left, and she had lifelink and like 2 or 3 creatures.
But you would have gotten a draw. So,
No,
yeah,
he
you-
would have eventually
No.
won, is what he's saying.
I would have won.
So he's upset that she stopped him instead
Well,
of
what I'm
stopping the other
saying is,
person,
at
but
the end of that
reality
turn-
But she had a shot. I mean, I can't guarantee I would have won.
Yeah,
I'm confident that I think I could have won, but she definitely had a shot. She could do.
But based on what she knew at the time, because she didn't know that he had the win.
right.
Well, she knew he was at 9 life, and
Right.
that he had like 8 creatures out. One of which was the Kama, another which was the Velociraptor, whatever it's called, the commander of that deck.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That
yeah.
lets you discover every time, and
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. And he had like
Sun
3
Panther.
other gross dinosaurs, and she only had 12 life and 2 creatures.
And what did he win with? Just damage?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. I mean,
He didn't
Comma
play any
alone-
cards? He didn't play any cards?
He did play a couple dinosaurs, which he felt like let him win. I think he was going to be able to win anyway because, let's say he had attacked out at her and killed her because she was the only one of my creatures.
Then he would just kill you next.
Then he would kill me next.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she'd already stopped my life gain. And I didn't have my commander out, so I couldn't do the 2 damage per spell or whatever.
Right.
I mean, that's the tough thing with playing with, maybe she didn't make the best move. But that's
No,
the tough
she admitted she didn't. She didn't. It was a knee-jerk reaction because she was going to go to 1 life.
Yeah, I
didn't-
mean that's
even
a
though I
hard sell that she misplayed when she was going to be at 1 life.
But then that was it. That was my turn. Andrew would be dead. She has a lifelink creature and another creature.
Yeah.
She could have wiped out all the life I would have gained.
Did she know you were going to kill Andrew and not kill her?
She says she didn't realize he was so low. I had just asked him on her end step what his life total was, so she just wasn't paying
Yeah,
attention.
I mean it was.
Anyway.
That's a hard thing. That's a hard.
It is
That's a hard
tough, but I'm
situation.
saying the correct answer is you don't let Andrew have his turn when he has all that
Well,
stuff.
if you're going to take out an opponent and she does decent life to you, but anyways, it's what happened and you're doing really well in the league, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
So I agree
I
with
won
that.
2. I believe I would have won 3, but she did have a chance. But the big point would have been Andrew would not have won,
Right.
and he ended up winning all 3 games that
Ah.
night because of that. But
Yeah.
anyway,
So, you
so
got one
that's
up on you.
that's we got 3 weeks left, and then that's it until.
Where do you
January.
think you stand right now?
I'm near the top, but I don't think I'm the top.
You don't think you're top 4?
Maybe top 4, maybe definitely within top 10. I guarantee that. But
Yeah.
I don't. Next week I'm hoping they'll start showing us our records because
Oh, okay.
we should know what we're playing for at this point.
Why would they not show you your records already?
They never have. They don't
Oh.
want people to feel discouraged and like stop.
Oh,
drop
that's
out.
actually smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good
Oh.
business.
But anyway, so
It's
let's
good
get into
business.
the new news.
Yes.
So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been confirmed as that unannounced Universes Beyond for next year, and it will be the 2nd set released.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cool.
Yep. So it'll be releasing March 6th.
Yes.
They told us a lot of stuff about it, and some stuff they didn't tell us very much about what they told us.
Yeah, so we got a handful of cards spoiled,
Yep.
quote unquote, including a new mechanic, Mutagen. It's a
What's a new token?
It's a new token mechanic. Is what I should say. So in Edge of Eternities we had Lander, which we talked about. And we said,
Are very good.
yeah, they're very good because it allows these colors that don't have ramp to kind of get ramp in a pseudo way. So this is kind of the same thing with that. So Mutagen is a token artifact that is pay 1, tap it, sacrifice this token, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, activate only as a sorcery. So this is a way to give 1/1 counters to creatures as basically a kind of sitting there and let it fester, and you can kind of use it whenever you need to
Yeah.
as a sorcery.
I think the only
Break, break
way-
glass in case of emergency.
I think the only way that's good is just use it as an artifact, as as sacrifice fodder and stuff, because that's not very good on its
I mean,
own.
in the +1 deck, sometimes your thing that people tend to try and kill the stuff that gives you your counter.
Yeah, so the reason why I bring this one up is because it kind of plays into what I think is probably going to potentially be a problematic card, which we'll get there in a second. But so overall set, which I don't know if anyone was online this weekend, but they found an MTG Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles van driving around New York City.
No, so here's the
Like
problem.
4 days
There was-
before.
Yeah,
it
that
was like
came
4.
out first.
Yeah, it was like 4 or
It
5.
was a
days.
Magic the Gathering one?
It was a Magic the Gathering Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles van. It literally
Awesome.
had TMNT on the side of it, and on the back it said Magic the Gathering. But it was like 4 or 5 days before the convention.
That's
It was
awesome.
driving around New York City, and people were like, so it's happening, right? Like, we now know. And then when they announced at the panel, everyone's like, yeah, we sold the van 5 days ago. Like
Well,
they
it was a
brought
poorly kept secret anyway.
Yeah.
When we
Yeah.
said that it was unannounced. We
Right.
said it. We thought it
It's
was
still exciting. though.
Yeah.
So the other thing about the mutagen, I think it's very. So in lore, when we're getting a Mutavault token,
Oh,
and then
that's
we have a
good.
mutagen token, and
Yeah.
Dude, Mutavault token is busted.
yeah, so it's a land token basically.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So here's some things we know.
Yes.
There will be commander deck, singular, 1 5-color.
Which
commander.
I'll let you go through everything first before
Okay.
I tee off, because I'm gonna tee off.
I actually like that, by the way.
There is a Turtle Team-Up box, which is a cooperative in-a-box format for up to 4 players. Each deck is 60 cards, and then there's an enemy deck that's kind of an NPC.
I think that's gonna end up in a landfill.
No, I think it'll be interesting for people. I don't think it's going to be expensive. I don't think the cards are going to be very good. It's not going to be collectible.
Yeah, they keep trying to do this stuff. It's a waste of cardboard.
There's going to be a Draft Night box featuring the Pick 2 format of draft, where when you open a pack, you take 2 before you pass it.
That would be cool.
That makes for a faster draft. There is a pizza bundle with, quote, pizza-themed cards. That's all they said. And it comes with a spin down and a collector booster pack. And then
That will probably sell out just because of the collector booster.
maybe it depends on the price point. And then there will be bundles, play boosters, collector boosters, and pre-release kits, just like normal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what we know as far as what they're offering.
Yeah. So
Do we know if Color Commander will have? I didn't see that it would have a collector's version, so it's just one version.
Yeah,
From
I
what
don't
can
think
see.
I don't think for the one deck they'll do a collector's version.
yeah.
They should have though.
So one commander deck.
Hey, do you want to play Ninja Turtle decks? I'll play mine. You play yours.
Yeah,
And Jeff can play his.
I don't know why you're doing one deck. Like, especially when we know we're getting 4 in the set literally right before this.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're going to run into what happened this year, which is they're going to front load all the commander decks, and then the whole second half of the year we're not going to get any. Meaning Star Trek might not get commander decks.
Oh, there better be Star Trek.
Listen,
Dude, there could be a.
I
So
understand.
So wait, I
deck
don't understand. What are
and
you
a
upset
Captain
about?
The fact that they had an easy opportunity to create 4 commander decks
Or
here,
5 commander decks.
and they just did it
But
again.
you just said you were upset that they're going to front load it, and you said the first set had 4 and this only has 1. So are you upset that too many commander decks are going to be made?
No, I'm
Or
upset
not
that.
enough are being
Why
made?
are they making a 1 commander deck? Why?
Because it's only the Ninja Turtles. You get all the flavor you need in one deck. You're gonna
No,
make,
you don't. Because where's all the bad guys? Where's all the villains you could have done decks with? Where's the good versus like? There's so
I
again
don't-
in the world of this, much like Avatar, there are so many different decks they could have made. Now, if they're saying we're scaling back on the commander decks, that's great. Then don't make a set with just 1 commander deck. I'd rather have 3 sets of 4 than a 4 set, and then
They
1,
missed out.
then 2,
Why
then
wouldn't
1.
they do 3, like the 4 sets? Because then you have Donatello and Michael.
Yeah, you
and
literally
Raphael,
have 4
Leonardo.
turtles that you can do
Yeah.
4 decks with.
And if you want to do a 5th, you could.
because
then
they
do
wanted
split.
them to team up, and they get to team up in this one deck, and you get all. I think they recognize. I think this was a smart play. I think they recognize that the bad guys, other than Shredder and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, are not that popular. Like, people aren't going to regularly recognize them, the hippo or the rhinoceros guy or whatever. But the
You mean
main
Bebop and
draw,
Rocksteady?
the main draw of them are the
Or
Ninja
Krang.
Turtles. And so I feel like the Ninja Turtles are really strong in this deck, and it would be a fun deck. I think the team up
who are you
mechanic in
going to
this,
play it against?
just play.
You
Dude,
can,
it's not
I know
that-
you can play it against the Spider-Man deck.
it's-
Oh wait,
It's not that hard to keep your pre-con that you bought a month ago. It's not like they don't come out with a new set every month.
yeah, but now you're gonna be like, hey, I want to play my Ninja Turtles deck. You're gonna have other people that are gonna be like, well, I wanted to play mine, but okay.
No, you can play your Ninja Turtles deck against their whatever deck came
But
out
that's
last
the
month.
point. If you're sitting down at a table with 4 people,
Yeah.
and all 4 of them just bought the Ninja Turtle deck, all 4 of them don't want to play the same exact deck against the other 3.
So play a different pre-con.
But that's the point, is that when you're committing an hour and a half to 2 hours to a game, I wanted to play my Ninja Turtle deck tonight. I didn't get to play it. Now I have to wait a whole nother week potentially to go play it again. Now I don't get to play it again because I sit at another pod with 3 other people who want to play Ninja Turtle. Like, that's the point, is that you're giving us one deck, and if you're going to have a bunch of people buy this deck, everyone's not going to want to keep playing against
I buy
it.
one deck and I get all the Ninja Turtles. Like, I'm really excited because I could buy one Commander deck and I feel like I'm done.
You play at home, so that's why you don't care.
You're-
Those of us that play in the shop know what's going to happen. Everybody gets excited for the new deck. How do you decide who gets to play it? This is a multiplayer game, and they're going to say one deck. You guys need to share.
And furthermore, we don't know what cards we're getting in that. We don't know if you're getting all the good turtles that they mentioned here. We might only be getting a couple.
They talked about it. All the Ninja Turtles are in there because it's a 5-color deck.
Right,
Yeah,
but
I watched
there's
it
literally
go.
a 5-color Ninja Turtle that is technically all 4 of them.
Yeah, and that's in the deck too.
Right, so that's my point, is that you're saying, well, you get all the turtles that there's already 2 to 3 versions of each turtle, which...
That's correct. I don't know which we do know which version's in there, but we don't know if there's going to be a better version that comes out, I guess, because there's probably multiple versions of each Ninja Turtle. But
there is.
The point is, like, if you're like, I kind of like Ninja Turtles, I buy one Commander deck, and I'm like, hey, I got the flavor of the whole set. I'm good to go. I like it. I think it was a good decision.
It was a bad decision. It was a very bad decision.
This is more confusing than Engine of Eternity's having 2.
But you guys are like they're not going to have any Commander decks left at the end of the year. If they print 4 every time, then either some sets aren't going to get any Commander deck.
Right.
Well, I would rather have 1 than none.
I'd rather have none than 1. Because
I like 1.
What's the point of making 1, especially if this set, now again, we don't have all of the information about the set yet. We only have what limited stuff they showed at the convention over the weekend. But the point is, if this set is going to be, for example, a smaller set, only 160-ish, I think, new cards has kind of been the trend, give or take, right?
New cards, yeah.
Yeah, 160-ish new cards, give or take.
Around 250, say, for the final.
Right, for the final. So if this is going to be on that same scale of a set, and again, based off of what was mentioned about this set, I don't foresee this set being extremely popular to the point of, Final Fantasy scale level.
Nope.
In Universes Beyond. And I don't think it will be Avatar scale level either.
Nope,
I think it will be less than that. I don't foresee...
But I don't think it will be as bad as Spider-Man.
I mean, I think it will probably be on par with Spider-Man.
I agree. I think it will be on par with Spider-Man.
I don't get
more
why
people either excited or at least like, oh, this is okay.
If the cards are good, it'll be more popular than Spider-Man.
Yeah,
the problem
this
with
does
Spider-Man
sound like-
was people weren't excited about Spider-Man and the cards weren't good.
With the exception of the card you're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
The cards they've released are not strong.
Yeah, they're nothing crazy strong. They're nothing overpowered. And the other thing, too, which I'll bring up because we're talking about it now, where's ninjutsu? You literally created a set based off of ninjas, and we didn't get ninjutsu.
I think they're calling it something different.
Yeah, they're calling it sneak. It's worse.
Yeah.
Why do that? Why not give us back ninjutsu?
They have to make us learn new rules every set. I don't
Yeah,
know
you have to.
what kind of sick
But the
person.
problem is they've already said, Mark Rosewater has previously said ninjutsu's too strong.
Which I agree with. That's true.
I mean, I would say sure.
But didn't they just release a type of ninjutsu already before this?
Yeah, they
was
web
it called?
sling.
Web sling, and there was one before that too.
No, they did ninjutsu last year. Was it last year or the year before Neo Dynasty?
They did.
Yeah, it was
Neon Dynasty.
year before.
Before they had ninjutsu.
They had something else that was like ninjutsu, but wasn't web slinging. I forget what it was called.
But anyway, 2/3 of EDH players feel like one deck is a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you have the option to make 4 decks very easily.
And it would have been way more fun for people.
I get what you guys are saying. I just think they're recognizing financially they don't think this set can support
that. This
four
is the
Commander
problem,
decks.
and the next bit of news will explain something that will explain some of this, I think. And I think they are kind of stuck where they said, people have been asking for less Commander set decks in the sets, so this is a way to at least give something without flooding the market.
I personally like the idea of spreading out the Commander decks and not front loading them, because I'm scared that that's what they're doing. They're going to front load the decks, and then there's not going to be...
arguing directly against them.
No, I'm not, Jeff. What I'm arguing against is don't make one Commander deck for a set. That doesn't make sense for the format of Commander. It doesn't make any sense.
0 is better than
What I'm saying is spread out your Commander decks over the year and actually give us 4 every single time you release Commander decks. Don't give us 4, then 1, then 1, then 2,
No, it's gonna,
then
here's
7.
Here's the
like,
problem.
why?
Here's what it's going to be. Here's why it's 1.
Because it's
They're
hard
going
to
to do
sell
4 for
4
Lord
every
Wood.
time.
Yeah, they're going to do
4. 1 for this.
Right.
Then they'll probably do 4 for Strixhaven again.
I think they should have skipped this. I don't think they should have made one.
The
Do
thing
a
is,
kit like
the thing that I think they're going to recognize.
Yeah, a Commander kit.
I would guess that they look at sales. They recognize that when they release 4. I bet there are typically 1 or 2 that everybody buys, and the other 2 people don't really buy.
But I
And
think
we know
in the
that's
case of
true for
Ninja
the 4
Turtles,
all the
people would have
time.
wanted all 4. That
Right, it's the
wasn't
same
right.
thing with Final Fantasy. Even if people didn't want the other 2 decks or 3 decks, they still bought them because they wanted the set of Final Fantasy decks.
Final Fantasy was a different. I bet they knew Final Fantasy.
Anyway,
itself.
we could beat this dead horse forever.
But-
but so
I'm afraid that what they're going to do is they're going to like be sprinkling commander decks randomly throughout the year next year, and then when it gets to the end of the year, and again, I hope this doesn't happen, but when we get to Star Trek, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're not going to do any Star Trek commander.
Yeah, but if I have a choice in Star Trek of having one or none, I would like if I'm the Ninja Turtle fan, I'm glad they at least made one for me. If the choice was one or
Yeah,
zero.
I don't know if I would say I'd rather have none than one.
Like, because if
But
we get
if
to
one
Star
is
Trek,
stupid, one is just
better than
plain
nothing.
stupid. But anyway, let's talk about the card you think is maybe a little too strong.
Yeah, so the one card I do see when they did all this stuff, and I kind of read it a couple times to make sure I read it correctly, is Super Shredder. So this is a 1 and a black, 1/1 mutant ninja human with menace, and it says whenever another permanent leaves the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on Super Shredder.
Oh, one of your permanents. Right?
Nope. No.
Anyone.
Whenever a permanent period leaves. So the reason why this is good with that ability I mentioned earlier, mutagen, is because not only do you get to put a 1/1 counter on him from mutagen, but then you get to put another 1/1 counter on him because that permanent's leaving the battlefield.
Yeah, so in a treasure deck, that thing's nuts.
Which again, this is mono
Or
black.
anyone
so
else playing treasure.
Yeah, anyone does as any kind of aristocrat deck, any deck that cares about treasure, any deck that cares about anything
At least it's
sacrificing,
mono black.
or
which is
even flickering, leaving the battlefield.
Actually, I think this card could be really good for a commander then. Because if someone plays this card out, you got to think about, do I want to flicker all this stuff? You got to think about, do I actually want to sacrifice all these treasures?
Well, they're not going to give you a choice on stuff. That player, it being in black, they're going to say, okay, Fleshbag Marauder, everybody sacrifice a creature.
Yeah.
I get that, but if you're doing it fair like that, I get it. Like, that's probably fits.
So when I saw this card, I did have to double take and read it twice because I was like, I don't know if that wording is safe. I think
It sounds pretty strong.
I feel like it's going to be pretty strong. Now, again, if you do run him as your commander, it's going to be a mono black deck, so you kind of have that
I think it would have
limitation,
been a little
but-
bit more fair if they had said when a permanent dies, because now any permanent can die.
Right.
Man,
but
the flavor of
leaving-
that card is good too.
Leaving the battlefield is crazy. Yeah, so it's a 1/1, so it is technically easy to kill, but again, I feel like it could get out of hand really quick, and if this is your commander, you could easily dome somebody by the next turn. Especially because, again, it has menace too, so you have to have 2 blockers.
We're going to have to see what it does to the format, but
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool that it's going to punish people from... I mean, let's be honest, treasure decks are kind of getting out of control.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, you have flicker and all those effects phasing out. Would phasing out
No.
count? I don't know
No,
if that
because
counts.
phasing just ceases to exist. It doesn't actually leave. the
So,
battlefield,
but
so
it does
phasing is a thing.
punish a lot of those things that are becoming too powerful, and I think that could be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the one card I saw that they previewed, and I just thought that card's going to probably be problematic.
It's like Orcish Bowmasters.
Yeah,
in that
I
fashion.
mean, and it's 1 in the black, so it's just as cheap as Orcish Bowmasters.
Except for Orcish Bowmasters,
There you go.
Causes 1 damage too, right?
Whenever you draw or someone draws
When
a
it
card,
first comes out, it does it.
yeah, and then whenever
Yeah.
something,
Whenever
this
somebody
doesn't
draws
deal
a card
damage.
besides the first card in their turn.
This
Yeah.
goes up +1/+1.
yeah. So, but that was the one guy I thought was pretty cool. I mean, overall, I thought the set as a whole, the cards they kind of showed and previewed, they're okay. I mean, they're
Yeah.
pretty flavorful. The only thing that's I would say for those who care about the jarring aspect of these kind of things coming in there is the lands are all slices of pizza. So that's kind of weird.
There's been a lot of talk about the fact that, number one, this looks like the grossest pizza you've ever seen.
Well, I will say they do eat weird pizza in the show. So
Yeah, but this is like oozy, like sewer pizza.
No,
that's how it was in the
Pizza was
show.
in the show.
Yeah, in the show, that's
It
how
is.
it was. Like when they picked up a slice, like the cheese
Yeah.
went like all the way down. Like go back and watch the old cartoon, not the newer ones. But
I
the
think
old
you're
ones.
definitely trolling people with these lands, but I think it's
Yeah.
great.
And somebody
Yeah.
pointed out, like, the swamp, like, how is Shredder even picking it up? Like, his thumb
Splinter?
isn't even a splinter.
Yeah.
His thumb's not even under it.
Bro,
it's
he's
just
a
like
ninja.
levitating.
Yeah, he's a ninja. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. He's actually has a fancy.
He's
And
gonna-
some,
picking
some
it
of
up.
the combinations on the pizza look pretty gross.
He's gonna
Yeah.
ninjutsu that too. Oh, are those
Sardines.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sardine
Sardines
and
and
onions
onion.
for the
Yeah.
island. I'm like,
Oh, I love it. This is
Yeah,
good. This is
garlic
good flavor.
and-
It's literally good flavor.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, this is good flavor, and I thought Shredder was really good flavor too. Sacrifice something and get stronger.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So overall, I'm not. I myself, I do like TMNT. I played the arcade game a lot. I watched this TV
the
series.
original, like
yeah.
the arc. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I played that. One of my favorite movies is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze, which is what the mutagens are based off of. If you never saw that movie, it's a really crappy old 90s movie.
It's a terrible movie.
And Vanilla Ice is featured in it and sings the Go Ninja rap song.
yeah.
If you didn't
Go
hear us
Ninja.
when we
Go
said it was
Ninja.
terrible the first time, in the second part, it should. Should drill
But
it in.
it is wicked fun. But I mean, overall, the set, my personal thoughts, it's okay. It's cool. It's very themed and stuff like that. I don't think besides Shredder, there's really anything groundbreaking.
Well, we don't
we've
know.
seen
so far.
They
There's
haven't
only
released much.
Yeah. Right.
There's 10
So
for
from what we've seen, I should say.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So let's have some good news.
Yes.
Okay. So this rush and influx of Universes Beyond sets this year and
That
next
you
year.
can't buy.
So it turns out the reason is they were on a time crunch because of the licensing.
Right.
So they had to like crunch all these out.
So they screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't pace it correctly.
Right. So supposedly after this next year, we should be seeing more of a balanced.
So someone went and signed all these contracts without talking to the team about how they were going to
The
disperse
development
them.
team, yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing that came out that I found out when I was looking this up is that not only that, so an average, let's have a little quiz. How long do you think it takes from start to finish for a Magic set? From the moment they think of the concept, design it, everything to when it's released?
2 years.
Jeff?
I mean, I read the thing, so.
No, that's for the Universes Beyond specifically.
How long does it take for a normal set
A normal
to go
set.
through development?
Yep.
5.5 years to 6 years.
So it's 2.5 years.
Oh.
But for Universes Beyond, it is 3.5 years.
So it's a whole extra year worth
It's a
of...
whole extra year worth of.
Well, I gotta imagine, I guess, because they have to get permission.
I think they have the idea and then they have to negotiate the
Yeah, they
permissions
have to...
and get the
present
details
it.
in that. Because sometimes they put requirements on. We want commander decks or we
Well, they
want.
probably want to approve the artwork.
Yeah, and like... Yeah.
Well, and like in the case of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they wanted to get Kevin Eastman's art in there, obviously, the original artist.
Right. From the...
So, anyway, so that's good news. Now I do have some bad news coming up. Now I had a bad news I'm going to do before the bad news I put on there. 'Cause
Okay.
there was something I forgot to put on there. So we do have another bit of bad news, and that is they have canceled the Commander decks when they used to do every year one set of Commander decks by themselves.
Right.
It's been officially canceled. They're not going to do that anymore.
Okay, so next year we won't have a secret Commander decks only slid in like you thought a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Which I'm okay with that. I'd rather a Commander deck
Yeah,
set
me
of
either.
4 be a part of a set rather than it just be like its own.
Well, with as
thing.
many
Agreed.
sets as they're doing now, they don't need to do the Commander set. Before they
Right.
did that because that was the only way. Then they did that and they did maybe 4 other decks, and
Right.
now there's so many sets. It's like
I think they should do Commander decks every quarter, and then they should do 2 decks from the 2 sets that came out. So 2 from this set, and 2
Oh,
from
that's a
this
good
set.
idea.
Right, and that way you get some of each, and then you get to mix it up, and it's like, okay, so I still got my Commander
By the
decks.
way, when I did see that there was one Commander deck for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm like, they did that just to get Sloan.
Probably.
Because he complained about 2. They're like, oh yeah?
Yeah, you think
You ain't
2's
seen
bad,
that.
wait till we do 1.
Next time we'll get, oh actually you got half of one for Avatar.
Yeah, yeah, I got a Commander bundle that's up to $700, which is $550
Now, were you
over
able to
MSRP.
get any of those cards? Or are you too
The shop
expensive?
didn't even open up
Yeah,
pre-orders
so-
yet,
Not yet.
Okay.
so I haven't
But
seen
can't
it.
you go on Amazon and pre-order?
Yeah, for a ton.
Yeah, for $1,000.
And I think they're
which I'm
sold
not
out.
going to do.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
that's
sold out.
wild.
Yeah.
And now to the other bad news. And Jeff already spoiled this a little bit, but the Secret Lair shenanigans continue. So, first of all, Jeff got to check out 20 minutes before me, like he said. There is absolutely no way he was in the checkout before me. Number one, I refreshed 2 minutes before just to make sure it was up to date with the time.
Yeah.
And as soon as it became noon, I clicked add to cart, checkout. Like literally, boom, boom. I didn't increase the
That's
quantity.
true. I did add to cart. It said you can only do 2, so then I added a third one because I wanted. So I was buying 2 of the foil, and then I was buying 1 of the regular. So I did all that clicking, and somehow still,
Was 20
right
minutes
off
ahead
the
of me.
bat, 20 minutes ahead of you.
So, and then Bryce, who was right around the same time as me, I'd say we were
Right.
pretty comparable. He was 10 minutes ahead of me. And then, not only that, but so he sends me the thing, the little guy that walks across the screen.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, this is where my guy is. I was further along. My guy was way down the road compared to his.
Your guy was lost. He was just like,
So-
I'm just hanging out down here.
Then there's the checkout issues that Jeff mentioned, which I also experienced, where you can't put in your CVVC or whatever, CVV, preventing you from checking out unless you use PayPal. So the other flaw is when they sell out, both him and I had it, that the thing that was in our cart was sold out right before it was our turn. Like literally the moments leading up to it, probably less than a minute. And you get to your checkout though and it's there. And you're like, oh, well, mine must be held for me, right?
Right.
It's because they'd remove it or gray it out or say it's out. No.
I didn't mind a lot of it. I was doing okay, but when I can't buy it, that's just crazy.
Because while you were trying to check out, the non-foil sold out while you were doing it.
Yeah, it's just not. It's like, I don't know what they did. Like, I don't know if that was something that just happened to you or me. It had something to do with our network or something. But dude, if that was a problem for everyone, which we'll find out pretty quickly, good grief, man.
So I did want to bring something up. So since we're actually talking about it, so this Secret Scare Super Drop, they went over it last week. I wasn't here, but there was 7 total sets of cards that they were releasing. Right. Out of all the sets of cards, one of the ones that we had mentioned 2 weeks ago and they had mentioned last week was who's going to buy the Furby one. Doesn't make, like, I feel like this one's kind of a waste of time. Guess which one is still readily available?
Well, except that there was, and I didn't realize this when we went over the drop.
The drop.
There was a confetti foil.
I did see that. Yeah.
But that's because
that sold out.
That was a bigger bundle. That wasn't like
no. They had those per each.
Yeah, they had them individually as well.
So,
and I think
which I don't know what a confetti foil is, but it could be kind of cool.
They've got like glitter. They look like glitter.
I don't want that then.
Right.
But I think that those were extremely limited. I don't think it was.
Right. So as of right now, which is it's 5:40 when we're recording this, the Iron Maiden album art non-foil is still available. Dreaming Darkly foil and non-foil available. Dua Nula foil and non-foil available, which is the Furby one. The next Furby one, the
all
Gathering,
3 of the foil ones.
Foil and non-foil. They're all available. All the Furby ones are available.
Except
and then
for
lastly,
the confetti.
Except for Confetti, which is a special foil edition, which they didn't announce. I don't know. And then Trick or Treat foil and non-foil is available. So basically, the ones that we had said these are the ones that are going to go out pretty much immediately, all sold out immediately.
Yeah.
The Iron Maiden foil, the Eddie Unchained foil, non-foil, the
Kieran Yeaner.
Kieran Yeaner, which was the artist.
That was the first one.
That was the first one, and I think Dwight was right behind it.
No, Eddie Unchained.
Eddie Unchained, and then Dwight. So, you know, the ones that we assumed were going to be the ones that were going to go are the ones that sold, and the ones that we assumed might be hanging around because either one, the value wasn't there, as the guys went over last week, or two, why.
Also, I think there should be a point where we give Magic a little bit of credit, which is weird because I'm very unhappy about how this went. But they did limit it to 2 per.
Yes,
which they finally did that. Good job on that, Magic.
But the problem is there were so many different bundles.
Well, there weren't enough of this product made. The fact that
they're
it's
now
sold out in.
They're marketing. They're designing this for the scalpers.
It sold out in less than 30 seconds. That means, okay.
So,
well, I mean, the people who were checked out within.
No. With that, in order for it to be gone where we couldn't get it, it had to have sold out in the first less than like 30 seconds.
No, that's not true.
How is that not true?
It didn't sell out. They posted when it sold out. It sold out.
Right, but those people had to have
what
put
he's
it in
saying
their
is
cart
because they had to be in the
Right,
cart.
so
Right.
that's why I said the first time. Yeah. So when they got it in their cart. No, so it was sold out within 0.5 seconds because I was in the cart within 1 second.
Yeah, so the only person who's able to do that is if they're using some sort of high-speed bot, or doing something
except that
sketchy.
it does seem to be that people who had multiple things in their cart were able to get through the checkout faster. You and Bryce both had multiple things in your cart. I only had one, and I thought I was being smooth by, hey, it's click, I'm in.
Yeah, and then you would go in and add quantities accordingly, which
but
was
both
what
of you got to
have
the
done
faster
in the past.
than me. When I first got to the cart, it said, basically, figuring out where you are in line, please give us a moment. How? Why? What? Why wouldn't it know where you are in line?
Yeah, it's weird. The other thing I'm going to say is, okay, so I didn't spend, so I was only going to spend $90, I think.
Well, 40 for a foil is
120. So I was going to buy 3 foils myself. I didn't know there was a limit of 2. And then I was going to buy one for my cousin Daniel. He's going to buy one through, we were doing it together. And then we were trying to get that $200 card, which isn't going to be worth it, like we talked about last week. But guys, just to understand how we need to deal with this, like, even though I'm frustrated, at the end of the day, I just saved $120. I can go buy other cards. I'm making a mill deck. I can go buy cards for that. I'm actually perfectly fine not having these cards. It doesn't change my life at all. Like,
I mean, the only downside is for the people who actually really cared about the stuff, like, for example, Jaws or the Iron Maiden stuff.
I was not able to get the foil, which is the only thing I wanted.
Yeah, the only thing Duncan truly wanted, he didn't get.
Well, and I really wanted that art.
Up.
I really wanted that art.
Right.
But you can live without it, is what I'm saying.
Well, sure.
That art
I mean,
was awesome.
I could also live without $1 million, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't accept $1 million. Because I live without $1 million right now.
Yeah.
But to the point that Doug was trying to make earlier, so the bundles that they did, very similar kind of to the Final Fantasy, where like they did as many bundles as there was secret layer drops, pretty much.
Yeah.
So there was the Gonna Need a Bigger Boat everything bundle. So that was everything that dropped today.
And the foil and the non-foil.
Right. Then there was Eddie's Metal as Hell all foil bundle, the Scranton Strangler non-foil bundle, and then the Alo Tiwila confetti foil bundle, which is just, I think that one's just the Furby confetti foils.
Yeah.
The Scranton Strangler non-foil was all of the bundles, but the non-foil version, I think, is what it was. And then the Eddie's Metal as Hell all foil bundle was all of the just the foil version.
Right.
So they had
so if you
4 bundles drop on top of the 7.
But if you did the 3, let's not talk about even the confetti foil bundle. If you just did the 3 other bundles, that meant you already had 6 of everything in your cart.
Right.
Then you can go back to the individual ones and add 2 more of everything. So you could get 8 of everything in your cart.
Right. So I think that is the mistake that probably happened here, is that whenever they did that, you can only get 2 of each. When you do the Gonna Need a Bigger Boat bundle, it doesn't count towards the individual 2.
Right.
It counts as its own 2.
So they are just doing all the bundles of scalpers.
Right. Yeah. So they get all the bundles.
But now they're stuck with all the Furby stuff at least.
Yeah. I guess that's one silver lining here, is that there's a bunch of people who bought a bunch of Furby cards that are.
And now we know why they did it, because I would have been like, this just seems dumb. Like you know which one was going to sell better from the beginning. Just don't make the Furby and make more of the cool, whatever that artist's name is. I don't want to say his name wrong.
Kieran Yanner.
Yeah.
That art was amazing. Like, they had to know that was the one.
And I am happy that that was the first one to sell, because that's one that should have.
Yeah.
You know
and hopefully something that goes towards that artist for doing that extra.
Oh no,
it's sold out.
that was his own thing. He gets his own.
He gets paid to make that art.
And plus he probably got artist proof. He's got to sell on those.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I hope he gets
Maybe that's just what I
well
buy.
too.
I'll just buy the artist proof of the art that I like for Demonic Tutor. Would it be like $500?
So the other thing, while I was in checkout, the guy never stopped moving, although I did see some people online posted their guy did. But my guy never stopped moving, he kept moving. But we did have a point at which our times went up again. Mm-hmm. And they put up a message, and it said basically, the reason that your time's going up is because we're updating our on-hands to make sure we don't oversell. What? What kind of archaic system are you using where it doesn't automatically debit whatever you're selling from your total? Is there some guy back there like, hold on, I need time to catch up. I need to cut this. Yeah.
I think they have the Furbies or the furloughs or whatever these guys are doing. They're running the show over there. They're agreeing to contracts that they can't support.
They're probably using a Chinese sweatshop and it's just kids, and they're like, I haven't even learned that kind of math yet.
I don't know. I'm not gonna follow that up. But yeah, so this is wild. Wizards, you need to learn how to run a friggin' business. So it'd be a good idea.
And then when I tried to look up like what was going on before they posted the message, I saw a post on Facebook that somebody posted, and they said, "Well, guys, it was a fun run, but it's time for this to end." And what it was is one of the secret layers from like 2 or 3 months ago. Remember the Call You one?
Yeah.
Finally sold out.
Okay.
No. So it's like 3 months later, and somebody was trolling and like, "Oh, it was a good run, but had to end sooner or later." But that's the thing too. Like these Furbies may be up there forever.
Which we don't even know if it's sold out. They may have just taken it down.
Yeah, that's true too.
Sold out because eventually
there's still Ghostbusters on there. That was from before that.
I know, but I bet there's a point at which they gotta just be like, "All right, guys, move along.
Pull the plug.
This is
Well, what they'll
selling.
do is they take them to the cons and stuff, and they try and sell them out of the shop there too.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a good
I
idea.
mean, I don't usually partake in these because they always happen in the middle of the workday, and I unfortunately don't have the ability to get on here and deal with this nonsense. And I didn't really want any of these. There's nothing in this that I was like extremely excited about. Maybe the Kieran Art one, just because again, those are really good cards, and you definitely got your money's worth out of them.
Wow.
Value wise.
Yeah, out of one card.
Yeah,
really.
the one card, really, you got all your money back. So, but I mean, I will say that as someone that I follow a lot of content creators online as well, a lot of them were very unhappy with this. A lot of them were having the same exact issues of the CVV.
Did they have that?
I've
okay.
already seen mentions of that. I've already seen mentions of kind of what Duncan said, which is I got right into the queue. As soon as it dropped, I hit checkout, and then I'm hours in queue or whatever the case may be. So, I don't know what to tell them.
Well, they fixed the hours problem. Either they fixed the hours problem, or once people saw stuff was sold out, they just walked away.
Yeah, they just
because
dropped.
even as of 2:00, so 2 hours after it dropped, you could just go on. You can go on right now and add the Iron Maiden album art one non-foil.
Mhm.
Go and check out.
Yep.
You don't have to wait in line, nothing.
Right. So I think because of the...
So they fixed that a little bit.
But I think it's more of what you said. Like people wanted the certain arts and they're gone. They're like, all right, I'm just gonna drop out of queue, then I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, Duncan, you got to tell me where to look, by the way, for the art for
Artist proofs.
yeah, the
Artist
artist
proof.
proofs. So I'm gonna
I'll have
do
to
that.
look up Kieran Yenner and see, because some people use a broker and some people have to do their own website.
Let's do that tomorrow because I don't want to do that.
So, but yeah.
But
I
so
mean-
that's the bad, so we had the new news, the good news, the bad news.
Yeah.
Um,
It's unfortunate because again, I don't understand how not only Wizards of the Coast, but now you have the backing of Hasbro, which is a bigger company, and you guys still can't get this right.
I mean, if this vendor that they're
Seems
using,
like Hasbro's making it harder on them by buying licensing that they can't even fulfill. So I don't think Hasbro's helping them, which is
Right.
they're probably making it worse in a lot of ways.
Yeah, because if you have a company like that come in and they don't understand, hey, by the way, it takes us 2.5 years for a normal set, and now you have us having to go through a whole nother person or party, I guess in this case, to get verification on everything that we do. Because if they say nope, we don't like that art, you got to do a whole new one.
And I'm sure they're like, hey, look what we secured for you. We got this deal, got this deal, got this deal. And oh, by the way, we want to sell Furbies, so we got you this friggin' deal. And they're like, what the hell? Nobody in Magic likes Furbies, but we want to sell toys.
Right, and I
So
think
it's like,
ultimately,
come on.
because we did touch on that a couple weeks ago. I said, honestly, I think the reason why we're seeing some of these ridiculous crossovers is because Hasbro's like, if we sell Magic cards with these, I bet our toys will sell too.
well, and then we
I-
had the thing in Spider-Man where they put the card in with, and it was you could only get that art.
Yeah.
They're always going to do that. They're
True
always
that.
trying to it's just stop it.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say there's certain things where it makes sense, and I get it. For example, the God of War games that they're doing, and the PlayStation drop, which is 2 weeks, I think. Right, that's the next one. So 2 weeks from today.
So you get 1 week off.
I don't know if I'm signing up for that. I'm taking
Yeah,
off.
so that's the thing.
The fact that I
at
could
this
buy the thing in
moment,
my cart.
if I was to have to choose right now, I think I would choose. I'm not buying any of that.
Right.
But you at least got to buy something.
I did, but it was aggravating. The
I didn't
site
even-
didn't work. It was ridiculous that I was definitely faster than you, but checked out 30 minutes slower than you.
But you at least got to check out.
Right. Well,
I got nothing.
yeah.
Well, that's because you're technologically.
It's because I don't have a PayPal account, and I don't know that I want a PayPal account. So it's like I have my card. It was set up correctly in the account. There's
Right.
no reason why they shouldn't have worked.
Right.
And I would have used any other card. I have lots of other cards. No matter what card I did, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. I don't get how you can put out a product like this and be okay with the level of frustration that people put out online and just be like,
You know why? Because you sold out of all the good stuff.
I guess
And
so.
you're printing cardboard that costs you, with the license, probably 50 cents a card to print.
Right.
And you're making money hand over
The thing I don't understand is I get you making decisions, I get making money, I get all of those things. What frustrates me is how can you keep failing this much? Who there is
That's
enough?
like, hold my beer.
Enough. We need to be able to do this successfully. We're a big company. We shouldn't continue to fail like this. it's bad delivery of a product. It's crazy. It's like you don't have that many jobs to do. Someone there's got to be responsible for this.
But they keep using the same crappy vendor, no matter what, no matter how many
That
problems
could
they
be
have.
the problem there. Get
Well,
a new
and,
vendor.
and that's I think ultimately that's the thing. So I know we talk about product fatigue a lot, but I think frustration fatigue is now setting in. People are like, why should I waste my time and all my effort trying to do this just to sit there and wait in queue for an hour to find out, oh, by the way, you didn't get it.
You know what it is. And then
Communists.
I'm gonna shout out to my CEDH players out there. What it is it's not CEDH players running Wizards. It's casuals, right? Because they don't care about
Filthy
winning.
casuals.
They don't care about
Filthy
winning.
casuals.
You get more CEDH players in there that care about winning.
Yeah.
I'm not even a CEDH player. I care about winning, but just win more. Like, stop failing. At some point, stop screwing up.
Yeah, because just
Crazy.
imagine if you did this correctly, how much more money you could make.
Well, and how many less people...
and how much less frustration you would have from your own community that you're trying to make money from.
Well, first they'd have to admit that they made a mistake.
Right, yeah.
That's the first step.
Yeah, step one. That's step one of the program. Every program, step one.
To be fair, I think the people who are making mistakes aren't the people we're dealing with. I
think that Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro's like, I'm awesome. I'm awesome.
I think
Yeah, well,
Hasbro's-
what about this mess up? I'm awesome.
I don't think Wizards of the Coast is like that. I do think Hasbro is like that.
I think there's no way Wizards of the Coast isn't like that because they don't admit it either.
I will say I don't think we had this much frustration a couple of years ago when Hasbro didn't own Wizards.
Right.
So here's the thing: Hasbro has owned
Right.
Wizards since like 1999. They only started exerting their control about 7 years ago.
Right. So
Right,
before
so-
7 years ago, we didn't have these problems.
Right.
So there, keep owning it. Stay the heck out of it.
Yeah.
But they're like, but our CEO is from Magic. It's from Wizards of the Coast.
Great.
Yeah, pick a different one.
Stay out of it. Let them make a great card game that we want to play,
Yeah.
and
please.
we'll pay money for it.
Yeah, lots of money.
Yeah.
We're apparently willing to pay lots of money for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say $120 went out the drain, but I know someone else bought the things I wanted. So other than maybe losing me from buying future secret layers, they didn't really lose that much. And that's what's frustrating about this whole ordeal is when you take a step back and you go, what do I matter as a consumer? I don't matter to this big company, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
So, Sloan, you got any pro tips?
Yeah, so actually kind of a pro tip. It's weird. So, again, Jeff's cousin, our buddy Danny, is getting back into Magic, and he has a deck that he's playing pretty religiously. And so this morning when we were having our meeting, at the end of it, he said, "Hey, real quick, what bracket do you think my deck is?" And I said, "That's a fair question." I said, "Based off the way it plays, I'd say it's probably a 3. He said, "Okay, well, why would you say that?" And I said, "Well, X, Y, and Z, yada, yada." But I then told him something that I feel like might help other people too, which is to really know where your deck sits comfortably. I would say that you should challenge it and play decks that are maybe a little bit better than it. Meaning, he should probably play a 4, because that way, if he plays a batch of 4s a couple of times, a couple of games, maybe 4 or 5 games, he can then see how close he is to a 4 comparative to how close he is to a 2 with his level 3, right? Because that's always kind of the question is this, and this is something I'm hearing more often, is this a high 3 or is this a low 3? Which, what does that mean? Like, it's a 3, I don't know what to tell you. So I would say my encouragement to you is if you're struggling with where you think your deck sits, if you're like, I think it's a 3, but other people are telling me it might be a 4 just because it's really well constructed, it does really consistently do good, go sit down and play against other 4s with that deck and see how well it does. Because if it holds its own and you're in the fight the whole time, you might be closer to a 4 as a 3 than you are to a 2 as a 3. And it will just kind of help you understand also the difference between what a 4 and a 3 is, because you might be thinking, oh, I think this plays like a 4, and then you play a table of 4s and you just get walloped a bunch, and you're like, okay, maybe this isn't as strong as I thought it was, maybe this is truly closer to a 3. So I would advise you, if you're trying to figure out exactly where your deck falls, again, the problem is with using Architect and Moxfield, which are great tools, They only care about the rigid rules of what a 3 or 2
How
or
to
4
build
is.
it, not how
Right.
it plays. Or
Not the intent of the deck, which is why I told our buddy, I said, that's why I think yours is a 3. You could be sneaking into a 4 because he is getting it more and more tuned. But ultimately, I said, I think yours is a 3 just because the intent of your deck is very honed and it's very pointed at its theme, and it does a good job of doing it.
Here's the problem, though. Here's what can happen with that. Okay, his deck's a 3 right now. Let's say it's a 3.
Yeah.
Right? He starts playing 4s, and he's like, you know what? I'm doing all right. I can hold my own in a 4, so maybe it's a 4. All right? Well, 4s, you can have as many game changes as you want. So
Yeah.
when I put Demonic Tutor in there, and I'll put
Yeah.
Vampiric Tutor in there.
And then he's done.
Well, right, and that's the thing, though, is, and that's where the rigid rules come in, right? Because if he does surpass that 3 game changers mark, he then has, by, again, the rigid rules of definition, he is then a 4. But what I'm saying is that it will help someone who doesn't know if they're teetering closer to 4 than
Right.
2.
Yeah.
It will help them figure it out. Because, for example, I played what I consider a 2, my Tails vehicle deck, because no game changers and it's vehicles, they suck. You know, and it gets walloped, and it does okay, but it was getting walloped pretty bad by that deck, and he almost won both games that night, yesterday. But I mean, overall, I think that's just a good way for you to kind of gauge how close you are to a 4 if you're struggling with, I'm a 3, but I don't know if I'm closer to a 4 as a 3 or if I'm closer to a 2 as a 3. So I think that's a good way to do it, is maybe just play decks that are a little bit higher up and see how you fare against them.
I think what's happening is now that everybody's fallen back to the 3, which I think is really good, because when I'd go to the shop before, like Duncan said, I'd play decks where they proxied all the most expensive cards in Magic.
Right.
And it was very annoying to me, because it's like, you didn't just build a good deck, you just built an expensive deck. That's just, you don't even own those cards, so there's no limit to how many, you can have it in every deck. And I just thought it's just too powerful. So what's happened is everybody's rolled back to 3, but now we still have to have that, we almost still have to have that rule 0 conversation at 3 now, because there is a big difference between one 3 and another. Like, his deck can absolutely hang with a high level 3, and it probably is a high level 3, because like if you take some of my 4 decks and you're like, all right, we don't want you to be 4 anymore, I'm like, all right, I'll remove Teferi's Protection and put in Clever Concealment. You know, like, it doesn't change my deck. My deck is still a very powerful deck,
Right.
and it would hang with 4s.
And if you find out that you can hang with a 4, you can no longer hang with the 2s.
Right.
When you find out that you could, just because your deck technically falls within the limits of a 2,
Right.
which I think it does.
And I think that's why this is important to kind of understand, is when you're looking at this, hey, by the rigid rules, I'm a 3, but I would say I'm on the higher side of a 3 because it's very consistent.
I think by the rigid rules he's a 2. I don't think he has any game changers.
Well,
No,
by the
I think
rules,
he does.
by taking out,
I don't know. I gotta double check.
he has very expensive cards on that deck.
Yeah, but he doesn't have Demonic Tutor. He doesn't have Vampiric Tutor.
You might be right. He might be a 2, taking
Yes.
out the rules of how you build your deck, because you guys are saying rigid. Rigid would still apply to all those other rules,
Right.
but the rules that are not relative or opinions. Once you take those out, then I would say he's probably a 2 if you take all those out.
Yeah,
but
I
but he's definitely a 3. And
He
most
is.
of the decks you guys are building, if you're watching this show, unless you're purposely trying to build a 2, you're building a 3.
Right.
Period.
Right. Yeah, and when I say rigid, I mean an algorithm that can be put into a computer to have it understand the rules of a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what I mean when I say that rigid rule structure, because a computer can't read the intent of the cards of the deck. It just reads the algorithm that says, oh, there's 3 game changers, it's a 3.
So it can't look at synergy.
Right,
Well,
it doesn't really look at that and factor it into
Or
the
how well it
algorithm.
actually plays. That's the
Right.
part that is hard for people.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
But his plays really well, and
Yeah.
so do many of ours.
So I would say if you're kind of trying to
It'll be
figure
better
out
than Josh.
if you're, it will be, if you're trying to figure out if you're a 3 or a 2 or 4, what have you, if you're struggling with that, just go and play against a deck, a group of decks that are a tier above yours and see how you fare. Play 4 or 5 games like that. That should help give you an idea of kind of where you land on the scale. So that's my advice. I know, again, the bracket system's still in beta, still not really.
We should be getting an update soon, though.
So we were
Also,
supposed to have an update by the end of the year.
Also, you can send in your decks to us. Send your deck list to us. We'll take a look at it, and we can tell you from our experience if we think that's a 3 or a 4.
Yep.
Matter of fact, it'd be fun to play a game where we guess is this a 3 or 4, and then we have to make an argument and discuss it. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
So send your deck list in.
Absolutely.
Yep. So that's about all the time we have for this week. Sloan, where can they find us?
Oh, they can find us all over the internet sphere. YouTube.com/@CommandersPod. We are a video podcast as well as audio, so if you only listen to us, you can head over to YouTube and you can see us.
Wow.
And as Jeff just said,
at
your own risk. You can email us, cast@commanderspod.com. You can also find us at our website, commanderspod.com. If you'd like to support us, help us continue to better the show, patreon.com/commanderspod. Trying to do gifts for you guys, send things out. We did a drawing earlier in the year when we hit I think 100 subscribers on YouTube, and our Patreon members got additional names in the drawing hat for that. So it's little things like that you get benefits from. And then lastly, all your audio listening websites, you have Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, and etc. that you can find us at.
And as always, play bold, swing wide, and don't forget to pay the one.
Tune in, friends, let's go